So tonight I was on my way home. I had the kids out and everything, and my mom in the car, and I got stopped, and for traffic speeding, 30 over. And
wow.
anyways, the man asked for, or he came up to the car and everything, or come up to the car, and he says, "Can I have your license, registration, and ownership?" And I said, "Is that in order?" Or I said, first of all, I said, before we get started here, I said, "Can I have a business card?" And he goes, "That's not how it works here." And I said, "Well, no." I said, "Okay, fine." And so he's like, my mom's like getting the ownership and the registration ready, and I said, for my license, I said, "Is that an order?" He says, "No, I demand your license." I said, "No, is that an order?" He's like, "No, I demand it." I said, "Is that an order?" He's like, "Well, like, what are you talking about? What's the difference between a demand and order?" I said, "Well, first of all," I said, "You take orders about what you're told to do every week," and I said, "You get paid." I said, "I'm only willing to give you my license if you're going to order me to do it." And I said, "And that way I can get paid." He's like, "Okay, it's an order. I order it." "Okay, that's fine. Thank you." So then when he came back to the car, I called him man. I said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And it struck him off guard. And he's like, "What?" And I said, "You're a man. I'm a man, right?" It was, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." Well, actually, sorry, in between that, too, so there was a first car that stopped, and then another car stopped behind him. My mom gave him a registration or something like that that was from the previous owner. So anyways, she found something and gave it to him, and then she actually found the true one, I guess. So I grabbed it, and I went back to the car, the cop's car, and it was the second officer was leaning in the window talking to the guy. I said, I think this is the right ownership that he would probably want. I said, maybe you can, give it to him. And so this was the secondary officer that was there, the second man, right? And he goes, "Oh, okay, thanks." He says, "I'll give it to him." And I said, "Who are you, by the way?" And he goes, "I'm Officer or Constable Tripp." I said, "What?" He says, he shined a light on his badge. "E. Tripp." "Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you very much." I said, and then he handed it to him, and he says, "I just suggest, you go back and wait in your car." And I said, "Thank you very much. I'll do that. It's no problem." I said, "But I just need to know that, you'll be a witness of mine." And he walked away. He's like, "Yeah, or whatever," kind of thing, right? So then when he give me the ticket, he's explaining. He says, "Have you had a ticket in a while?" I says, "No." I said, not a long time, man." And he says, "Okay." So then he explained the whole ticket about the process, and I had 14 days or 15 days to pay it and everything else. And I took the ticket from him. He goes, "You've been served." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much." Actually, yeah. And I said, "So what you're saying is I have 3 days to refuse this ticket, this contract?" He goes, "No, you have 15 days." And I said, "Oh, okay. All right." But back when he was asking, the order about the license, and I said, "Is there anything, and I was quite cordial, very nice." So, and he says that, the order thing. And I said, "Is there any other orders that you wish? I mean, I'll take orders all day. But, I've got no problem with giving, taking orders." So anyway, that's pretty well the whole situation, how it went. My mom was like shitting her pants, and, I'm sure she's downstairs praying for me right now. And she says, "He shouldn't be like that." She says he was a very nice guy. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? I totally respect him." She was like, "No, you didn't." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I didn't say anything mean. I just asked, is it an order?" I asked very politely. And all this other stuff. And I said, there's absolutely nothing that I find that I did wrong. And that's the other thing. He says, sorry, to go back. He says, "You realize you were going a 90 or 130 or 120, whatever, over in a 90. And he says, this is a 90? And I said, "No." I said, "I have no idea." And then, sorry, because after the first time he came, I'm sorry, I'm splitting my story up a bit, but he took the ownership from the previous owner, and then he ended up coming back and asking for it and everything, to change it. And I said something, and I said, "Just so you know, all I'm doing here is just going from point A to point B." And he's like, "Okay, you're speeding." And I said, "Well, I'm just going from point A to point B. That's it." So I have to do a little bit of discovery and find out what the whole story is and what his what he's written down about our conversation, and getting a recording of the conversation if they do record.
Just go back and within 3 days and give him a ticket. You gave it to me in error. I was not operating under the license at the time. I was stopped.
Yeah, and I said to him, I said,
you got to say that I was just, you get this, basically say I was in lawful possession of my property, and I was just taking my property from point A to point B. And I don't believe that any man is going to come forth and make a claim that I've done anything wrong, that any man is going to claim that I've made a harm or a trespass upon his property while I was, taking my property from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was a little bit tripped up.
Yeah, what I'm just saying is you're basically saying, but you put down in there, if there is a man, please let Lee know immediately. Please let him bring his claim forth immediately, because I've yet to see a claim of a wrong, because I want to compensate him way before we get this into a public forum.
Right. Well, I did say like when he said, I'm just going from point A to point B, and I says I don't think I did anything wrong. I actually did say that. I don't think I did anything wrong. He's like, but you were speaking. I said, but I don't. What did
the big thing you got to say is that I was in my property.
Right. Well, it was actually my mom's.
Well, you have more of a vested interest, and when your mom drops dead and dies in tenths of a second, believe me, it's your property now, ain't it?
Yeah.
You have a vested interest in it, believe me. It's more your property than anybody else on planet Earth other than your mom's. How's that?
Right.
Yeah, and she didn't dispute that she wouldn't dispute that it was your property.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I covered a lot of the bases, but yeah, of course.
Oh, you did. You covered a lot. The next time you should have it in writing and just hand it to him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have paper in my the only thing my mom had that. Sorry?
No, I'm just saying it's nicer if you had something already in writing that said to the guy, license, yeah, hang on a second. Here, I got something for you. And hand him the document that says all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got no problem with the document. No way you got to do it on the side of the road, and then he's going to call the supervisor, and you say, you know what, if I was you, I'd get a hold of somebody in the legal department as well before you contract with me. I think you should read this. And as a matter of fact, if you got somebody on legal, on staff, on call right now, I recommend that you call your legal department.
Right.
Before you do something that you might regret later.
Mm-hmm.
Something just not nice.
Well, I think at the beginning, by asking if it was an order and everything else, I pretty well gave him fair warning. Is that not right?
Yeah, but like I said, he really doesn't. Obviously, he doesn't understand what order meant to that level. Some do, some don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I said, like I said, in the United States, when a black guy asked a guy in New York City cop, is that an order for us to stop playing basketball and go home? The cop said, absolutely not. I'm not ordering anything from you kids.
Yeah.
So he knew better. That's the damn thing from the kids. He's like, I ain't ordering a damn thing from you kids.
Mm-hmm.
The cop knows better. A New York City cop is trained better, obviously, to know what an order means.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd asked him, so I said, where's your office? And he's like, what, you mean detachment? I said, well, an office. I guess you have a business card, right? Oh, I did ask for the business card, and he's right at the beginning. He's like, "Well, we don't do it that way." And then when I came back to the car and told me about how long I had to pay and everything else, I said, "Can I have your business card?" And he says, "No." He says, "I gave it to the last person or whatever."
Oh.
I said, "Really?" He says, "What? Did you carry your business cards around?" I said, "When I'm working, I have a business card and I use it." But I said, "I'm not in a business, so there's no need for me to carry it around. But you are." And I said, "I'm asking for it, and now you're telling me that you don't have any. You gave them away." I said, "Okay." Yeah. I said, "So where's your office?" He goes, "What, detachment?" I said, "Well, whatever." I said, "It's an office, isn't it?" He's like,
"Yeah." They say, how am I going to deliver my answer upon you? You're the one making a complaint. You're the one who said I did something wrong, correct? He's like, yeah, well, then you're the one who's going to have to prosecute this in court. You're the one who's going to be moving this complaint against me.
Right.
So I want to properly answer you. You know, I want to answer you before we go to court. I want to try to settle this way before we go into the courtroom.
Right. So I said, because he's OPP.
Right, that's why it's important to have their business card. That's why it's important. It's like, you want to contract with me? How could I contract with you? How could we negotiate the contract if I want to change the terms and conditions of the contract? How am I going to get a hold of you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to give me some way that we can communicate with you.
Right. I asked for the prosecuting attorney or whatever. I said, "Well, do you know what his name is?" And he goes, "No, there's a bunch of them anyways." I said, "Okay." I said, "So,"
Yeah.
I said,
well, no, the cop's going to be the one who's prosecuting. He's the one who's going to, and if he's saying no, I'm just going to bear witness that you did something wrong. And it's okay. So did wrong to who?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who to whom did I do wrong? And he's going to be like, well, you breached a contract. You have an agreement to do a certain thing a certain way, and I'm the policy enforcement officer, and I'm the one who determines that you're in breach of the contract. So you've got a contract between you and Department of Motor Vehicles up here, and you're in breach of contract. It's like, no, I was not operating under license at the time of the stop. I got no breach of a contract. He's like, but you do have a license. Absolutely. Was I using it at this time? No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. That just confuses the shit out of him.
Yeah, I could see he wasn't quite getting it, but when I got him to
like I said,
place an order,
that's why you tell him, look, you know what? Just where you write something down like that, and you tell him, look, man, you know, go get a legal opponent, go get the legal, call somebody legal. You know, if you want to renegotiate this, you know what? Get in touch with me. You know, when I write the ticket, fine. You know what? You want to withdraw? That's fine. You know, get in touch with me. Here's my address. You know where I live. You know, write me a letter. Just tell me that you want to stop this, and we'll forget all about it.
Right. Put it back in his lap.
Yeah.
Sounds nice. I can write a nice genuine grandma letter to him.
Yeah, but like I said, that must have been interesting. Like I said, it's funny when a cop knows what you're doing and doesn't know what you're doing. It's just a lot of fun. It depends on what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, he was a super nice guy. I mean, and my mom's like,
oh, yeah.
He was really nice. I said, yeah, he was really nice. And she's like, why are you doing this? I said, I do it because I believe in it. And I said, whether you do it or not, that's fine. But, this is my belief, and, you're not going to force your belief on me. This is what I've been, learning, and this is my belief. So she's like, okay, because, when I'm asking him about an order and everything, she's got her elbow, she's like fucking gabbing me. I'm like, Mom, just calm down. Like, forget about it. I said, we're at the side of the road. I'm talking nice to the guy. I'm not doing anything mean, genuine.
It was just like horse and buggy days. At one time, 7 miles an hour was the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said to your mom, at one time, this was considered fast, how fast I was going. But you know what? I was in total control of the vehicle at all times. The vehicle is capable of doing it. And you know what? I caused no harm in what I was doing.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're, making sure I wear my bicycle helmet. It's nice that they're making sure I got my seatbelt on. It's nice to make sure that I got a roll cage in the car. It's nice to know, they got my spacesuit on, but I don't need it. I don't require it as a man to go from here to there. But it's nice that they got these, policies officers out here. They got mommy out here making sure I'm doing the right thing. But you know what? At this time, I'm a man and I don't need mommy. I got this. And they could be like, no, if he doesn't do it, you could have got hurt. Good thing he stopped you, it'll slow you down from now on. And then you say to them, well, wait a second. What if I was doing the speed limit and a tractor-trailer came across the road and I would have been a mile further back and I would have got hit by that tractor-trailer?
Yeah.
You never know. It's all fate.
That's right.
It's like they say, if you walk out of your house and you decide to go left today instead of right, you might have a whole different life. You don't know. Just because I was speeding doesn't mean I was going to get hurt.